We are Hubdrive. Our vision is to empower people and organizations in HR management.
Hi, Jason.
Hi.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. And if you're ready, we can start.
Let's do this.
So, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, about your position, and what you're doing at Hubdrive?
Sure. So my name's Jason Fellows. I'm originally from the U.S., to be real specific, a little bitty town called Litchfield in the state of Maine. I've been married 27 years to my beautiful wife, Kirsten, and we have a daughter named Vivian. She's 21. And what do I do at Hubdrive? So I am the Director of Global Strategic Alliances. Yeah? So I work with our partner network, basically Dynamics partners that are Microsoft partners, and I'm responsible for our global relationship with Microsoft.
How long have you been here at Hubdrive?
So I've been here at Hubdrive for 4 years now.
So, what does it take to be a Director of Global Strategic Alliances at Hubdrive?
Well, it takes three things. It takes patience, understanding, and problem-solving skills. So the patience to really get to know partners, to understand that success is not going to happen overnight. It's something that we have to work for. Understanding's required because each one of those partners that we work with has their own business model, and we need to understand how we can cooperate best to be successful. And every single day there's some type of unique situation where problem-solving skills come into play. There's a difference, like I mentioned before, in an indirect sales channel and a direct sales channel. The customer, the partner, and Hubdrive, and you have to solve the problems of both to really be successful.
So, what's the achievement you're most proud of?
There's actually quite a few, but the thing that I think the most interesting in terms of achievements is not so much what I've done, but what we've done as a team. If you think about it, as I mentioned, we're in Würzburg, Germany, and this is our only office. But we have organizations using our software in 36 different countries around the world. I mean, countries like Belize, Jamaica, the US, Canada, Asia, all over the place. And I think that's an amazing achievement because the company still started like most, let's say, IT or software companies from the early 80s out of a 1-2 room office that they rented in a building. So I think that's an amazing achievement, just the reach.
Which Hubdrive value means the most to you?
I would say helping customers embrace the challenges of digital transformation. Yeah? When I mentioned I was in HR before, a lot of us, and no offense to any of my HR colleagues, we're not always the most technically savvy, as I mentioned. And just the ability to help them understand what that means and how they can be more efficient is super interesting, and it's a passion of the company.
What is unique about working at Hubdrive?
So unique about working at Hubdrive, wow. I mean, other than the people that work here and the diversity, it really goes back to what we do. When I went into human resources, I didn't go into human resources to do administrative tasks. I didn't go into human resources to do end of month, quarter, all these other reports. Most HR people went into human resources really to help companies grow, to manage people, to be that bridge between management and the employees. And Hubdrive really helps organizations do that with their software. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely unique. There's not a lot of us out there.
What is Hubdrive for you?
No, that's a serious question. So Hubdrive for me, anybody that knows me knows that my family is absolutely the most important thing to me. I would tell you that it's the basis of my success is my family. So Hubdrive does a couple of things for me. It gives me the opportunity to provide a really good life for my family. And at the same time, it's not always feeling like work, because here at Hubdrive, I have an extended family. So the people I work with every day are, let's say, almost as important to me as my real family. So that's what it means to me.
What makes your team special?
So the team at Hubdrive is absolutely unique because of diversity, right? Here we are in Würzburg, not a really huge city for German standards, but I think we have 15 or almost 20 different countries, cultures represented in our organization. I mean, there's different languages spoken, different perspectives based on culture. And I mean, it's almost like part of being NATO or the United Nations, right? And it's right here in Würzburg, Germany.
So what was your funniest experience at Hubdrive?
Funniest experience at Hubdrive? Good question. I will tell you that the funniest experience I've ever had at Hubdrive is me and one other colleague. We had an HR fair in Manchester in the UK. And we wanted to bring a ton of stuff. It was our first show in the UK. And it's very difficult to pack those on a plane or transport them by a train or whatever it may be. So we accepted a challenge from management. We rented a van and literally got in the van and drove to Manchester. So I think over the course of a couple of days, we went through like 5 or 6 different countries, right? So it was like road trip across Europe for this HR fair. And, you know, it was pretty exciting because I come from rural America. It would take me weeks to get in a van and go someplace and see that many countries. So it was just a really unique experience. The fair was super successful. You know, the colleague that went with me is one of my best mates. So it was, yeah, like a college road trip, right? And the best part is I didn't have to pay for it. So that was even better.
So what is exciting about what you're doing here at Hubdrive?
For me, I think the exciting part of working at Hubdrive is no 2 days are the same. And Hubdrive affords me the opportunity of facing new challenges literally every single day, especially with what I do, because, you know, managing a sales channel directly for a company is one thing, but when you add partners to it and it's an indirect sales channel, you know, they have their own ways that they do business, and you have to figure out a way to cooperate to be successful. And I think that's, you know, probably the most exciting thing about working here.
What have you been able to improve so far?
I would say that I've been able to improve myself more than anything. You know, I was never a super overly organized guy before I came here. And working at Hubdrive, because of the fast pace, because of the different things that we do every day, putting a little bit of structure in my daily routine, Franciscus will love this, has been super important, right? Embracing technology, getting away from paper, using OneNote, using all the available resources. I think that's how I've improved as a professional or whatever it may be. But in terms of improving the company, I think, you know, always being a person that people feel like they can come to for advice. Yeah, that's a big part of my day, and it's something that makes me feel good as well.
What were the reasons for you to start at Hubdrive?
Yeah, super simple. It was the company itself was super appealing. The fact that they were a company driven by human resources processes, and just the ability to try and make, like I mentioned before, my previous colleagues' lives a little bit more efficient.
Do you have a tip or a message for applicants?
For applicants, I suppose if you've come far enough that you're curious about Hubdrive, then you should absolutely apply, right? Hubdrive is a place that it's unique. I mean, it's just different. And I think most people that are looking for jobs, that are looking for something different, would be a perfect fit. So I guess the short answer is just apply.
Do you have a message for future employees?
For future employees, nothing's perfect. And if you wait for perfection, you're going to be waiting a really, really long time. The only way that you can change your status in life, the passion that you get out of your work environment, is by coming in and giving 100% every day. And you get out of working at Hubdrive exactly what you put into it.
What have you learned so far?
I've probably learned the most about embracing technology and helping others embrace technology. Coming from the HR world, we get stuck in processes that have worked 100 years. Doesn't mean that they're the most efficient processes. And sometimes it requires you to learn about those processes yourself in order to be able to go into a customer or help a partner really, make those efficient processes work in their organization. So maybe a little bit of sales skill, a little bit of management skill, but definitely a lot more about technology.
Okay, thank you, Jason, for taking the time to talk to us, and have a nice day.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thanks.